What's going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 21 of PixlFeed Radio, and I'm your host, Christian Lovrecich. What's going on, Pixel Hackers? Today's episode, or this week's episode, it's going to be solo, behind the scenes. Has actually been pretty busy and couldn't lock somebody down to interview this week, so I figured I'd do an episode for you guys behind the scenes about systems and processes, customer service, how important it is in your business, whether you're in e-commerce, whether you're an agency, whether you're a consultant. And by the way, if you're a consultant or an agency, you need to watch episode 20 with John Loger. I mean, I don't even know how I'm going to be able to follow that up. But anyway, so I want to tell you guys a story of what's been going on in my business behind the scenes so you guys can learn from it and hopefully apply it to your businesses. So I had an idea for a store about in May, right? I saw these products and I'm like, oh man, this is a good one, right? And of course they're in China. So I contacted my my sourcer and they're like, yeah, we can get them, no problem, blah, blah, blah. And of course I launched the store, and the same week that I launched the store, I scaled away to like literally, the store's like over 30 grand in sales right now. And I've been taking it super easy because Facebook has been a mess the past 2 weeks. But that's besides the point. But when I was around $22,000 in sales, I get the dreaded email from my sourcing agent. And they're like, oh, by the way, your shipping is going to be delayed anywhere from 21 to 30 days. So this is not my first rodeo with drop shipping. This is not the first time I had to deal with this. So I knew the shitstorm that was coming my way, and I knew I had to prepare for it. Because on the site prior to that, I had the shipping set at 7 to 10 days. That's when my shipping times were. So people are expecting their products in 7 to 10 days. And I don't blame them if they're going to get pissed off when the products are not there. So when you have $22,000 in sales and people are not getting their packages, they're not receiving what they ordered, they're not going to be very happy about it. And keep in mind, at this point, I didn't have a VA working customer service yet because I wanted to handle it myself, assuming that there was not going to be any issues, just so I can start creating the templates. This is what I do. So every time, and you guys should do this too, every time I start a new store, once I'm dealing with the customer service, because I scale slowly, I'm not one of the, I'm not going to go 0 to 100 right off the bat. It's unnecessary. And I don't recommend doing that. And as much as my ego wants to do it, the reason why I don't recommend it is because if you do that and your processes are broken, it's going to be a headache. You don't want to deal with that. So I am so glad that I only went up to 22,000 when I got the news that everything was going to be delayed, because it was bad. It got bad real quick. So at first I was handling the customer service myself. Like once a day I will go in there and answer everybody. And what I usually do before I bring a VA on is I grab all of my messages, all of my emails dealing with customer service, and I write them down in a Google Drive, on a Google Sheet, and then I train my VA to use those type of responses when it comes to customer service. That way they know what to say, they know how to treat the customers, and they treat them just like you would personally, like you care, like, you should care. They're your customers, they're your clients, you should care about them. And when you train your VAs to do it the right way, it matters. So let me tell you something. At first, all the emails started to come in. Where's my package? Where's my package? Where's my package? And, luckily I had a page on the site that said, here's our COVID-19 response. And in that page, I actually had that there might be delays. There might be problems with the shipping. And, everything that we're doing to keep it safe and all that good stuff. So what I did was I typed out this email, and before people start asking about the template for the email, all the email is, you have to do it in your brand's voice. You have to talk to your niche directly with the lingo, the terminology that's used in the biz, right? And this is what makes it so effective, because if you're super honest and upfront about it, people are cool with it. 90% of people are cool with it. So basically what the email was, it was just an email saying, hey, listen, we're experiencing some delays. The supply chain is broken. USPS is experiencing delays. And we promise you your package is on the way. This is why you have a tracking number. If you have any questions or anything like that, let us know. Luckily, about 90% of people, right? 90% of people were cool with it. It's amazing the patience that people have when it's something that they want and when you're nice about it. So I want to say out of those 90%, because there's always a 10% that they're just a pain. That it's one of those. It's never gonna go away. So what happened was, the 90%, they were like, oh, cool. Just wanted to make sure it was not a scam. Do you have any idea? And then I would just respond to them. It's like, hey, not sure. This is the time frame, blah, blah, blah. And they were cool with it. They will leave you alone. They were happy to wait for their packages, which is amazing and a blessing in disguise. But then you have the 10% that just whatever you do, it's not good enough. And these people, I don't have the patience for these people, because if you're not going to be, nice about it, then I'm not going to be nice about it. That's the other thing. If you're dealing with somebody who does customer service or whatever, be nice to them, because they have ultimately control of what's going to happen, right? So there was 10% of people were just like, I want my package. I want to now do something about it. So those people, you just answer and you say, no, sorry, we can't do anything about it. That's just the deal. It's already in transit. We can't reroute it. So what I can do for you is, once you receive the package, we'll be more than happy to give you a prepaid label, and you can send it right back. And once it's on its way, we'll take care of it. We'll issue a refund. And then there was one guy who just did a freaking chargeback right off the bat, before, like, literally days after he ordered, before even contacting or anything. And then the package got to him, and then he still had the balls to complain about it, how long it took, even though he had a chargeback. So I sent him a nice email explaining that, you're pretty much a thief. So why are you complaining if you got the stuff for, well, he's not going to get it for free, because I'm going to fight that chargeback till the death. But anyway, so there's that. So the moral of the story is that customer service is very, very important. So let me give you a few pointers of what to do when you're launching a new store, or a new business for that matter, when it comes to systems and processes. So one, make sure you have somebody assigned to your customer service, or you're already training somebody in your customer service, whether it's you, whether it's a VA, or whether it's one of your friends. Make sure you have a standard answer ready to go if there's any type of the delays, anything like that. That way you can take care of your customers. If customers email you, make sure you answer them right away. One of the biggest mistakes that I see newbies make all the time is that they don't answer their customer support. I see all these young kids like launching, Shopify stores, and then, when the shit hits the fan, they just hide and hoping that it goes away. Let me tell you something. You're just making it a lot worse for yourself because of two things. One, you're going to get chargebacks. So you're going to lose your merchant account. You're going to lose your PayPal account. And then if you're running ads through Facebook, which 99% of you are, guess what? Your customer feedback score is going to hit on your page, and then your account's going to get banned. So you're hurting yourself. Make sure you communicate with the customers. I know it's a pain. I know it's not fun, but believe me, 90% of them are going to be totally cool with it as long as you're transparent about it. You let them know what's going on, and you assure them that it's on its way. The other thing that made it a lot easier for this store, because it's been a while since I launched a new store, and the ones that I have, they already have apps on them forever. So I started using new apps to test, and I found this app, and I don't even think they have an affiliate link or whatever. But I'll put the link in the description of the video below. It's called ecommerce, and guys, this app is a lifesaver. So what the app does is it sets up a portal for your store. So if anybody needs to refund or exchange, their product, you just send them the link, and they literally follow the instructions where it asks for a picture of the product, and it gives them updates of a refund and exchange on what part of the process it is. It sends them. You combine it with Shippo, and it literally you can send prepaid labels to them, and it literally automatically keeps them updated through the whole process for you, so you don't have to deal with it. So that right there cuts your customer service by half easily. The other thing, the other thing that people don't think about is like, oh, why are you offering prepaid labels for returns and exchanges? Well, easily. You got to think of the long game here, the long-term goal here. The long-term goal here and the long game here is to have super happy customers that are going to become rabid fans of your brand, of your store, and they're going to come back and buy from you. So I'm telling you right now, it was a total of 9 returns? It was total 9 returns and exchanges, and there were some damages in there. But the people that I offered the exchange and the return for free, one with a prepaid label, guess what? They found out the right size and they bought anyway from me without waiting. So there you go. Customer came back. One. Number two, some people were super appreciative of the customer service to the point where they're like literally posting on their social media. Number three, here's the deal. There's two things you can do with those refunds. You know, if the package comes back to you and it's in perfect shape, there's nothing wrong with it. You can resell it to another person that orders the same thing. You just repackage it with the tags in it. Make sure the tags and everything are on it. Hasn't been worn, obviously. It's brand new. Then you can sell it to another person. The other thing that you can do with return packages, even if it's like not worth the return, you're too cheap to pay the return label, which if you are, then your profit margins are not high enough on your prices. But you get those back, and guess what? You can cut out deals with influencers, and you send it to micro influencers or big influencers, depending on how big your budget is. And they can run, they can do shout outs. They can do a post on their feed, and then you'll get mad traffic from influencers to your store. So this is why you guys got to focus on having the long-term goal, the long-term game in your heads. That's how you do it. Okay. And you got to learn from all this process, because once you set these processes in place, guess what? Once you bring that VA on and those processes are all in place, you can just step back and concentrate on what you want. I don't want to deal with the day-to-day stuff from the store. I want to deal with running ads and dealing with like getting the creatives ready for it and all that good stuff. So, and once you have this process, right, in place, and you learn what works and what doesn't, you can literally copy paste. You can start another store and just bring everything over to the next store, and you already know what to do. Now, I mean, I was trying to figure out a better process for this new store, but I'm kind of glad this happened because it put me on the spot and I had to act quickly and up on my feet. The other thing that happened is like, one of the things that I did to pivot right away that I mentioned in the beginning was that the major delays were for the U.S. and I was selling only in the U.S. because I just wanted, I was taking it slow. I wanted to gather the data from the U.S. because we spent a lot of money in the U.S. And I wanted to get those high average order values. So, but as soon as they told me about the shipping times, the first question that came out of my mouth when I reached out to my sourcing agent, I was like, hey, what countries do still have shipping that's normal time using our type of shipping where I can get the product there in 7 to 8 days? And they're like, she gave me a list of 3 countries. And as soon as she gave me that, I switched my campaigns on Facebook to those 3 countries. So I didn't lose that much momentum. I just pivoted, based on the problem that I had, and I kept the store going. Now, Facebook ads for the past 2 weeks have been a mess. So don't even get me started on that. Everybody's experiencing all this crazy behavior and stuff like that. But so I haven't been able to scale the store. So it's sitting right now at 30. I believe it's 35,000 or something like that. Let's check. Here, I'll show you guys. This doesn't give me the whole thing. I'm at 37,000. So I'm keeping it steady. So now that I know my systems and processes are in place, all I have to do is just crank up the ads, and guess what? It's going to go to the moon. Okay, so that's what I have been dealing with. And actually, I think one of the videos I made about CBO, it actually shows the original campaigns for that store that I was launching. So that's for the Shopify side of things. So if you're launching an e-commerce store, make sure that you do that, okay? The other thing, if you have, on the agency side of things, the other thing that I see people dropping the ball is not getting new clients. That's another part where you need systems and processes in place. So what is your process every day to fill up your pipeline? Like I talked about it with Logo in the last, episode of PixlFeed Radio, is that you need to do outreach. You need to be constantly filling your pipeline every day. If you're not doing that, you're never going to be successful at the agency business and the consulting side of things, whether that's, sending cold emails, setting up cold email campaigns or LinkedIn outreach, or just simply as picking up the phone. You need to sit down and come up with a process that you're going to follow up on a daily basis, whether it's, hiring a data scraper on Upwork or Fiverr to scrape data for you so you can cold email, people, contacts that are in charge of their marketing so you can reach out to them, see if you can get them on a call or do a pitch presentation for them. You should have a schedule where you're going to create content, right? for your agency to get clients. I have a schedule that I follow. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I'm creating content for the YouTube channel that's also used for other things in my agency, right? Tuesdays and Thursdays, it's me focusing on everything that's the e-com generated thing. And every day I deal with, with ads. I still run my own Facebook ads for everybody. I love doing it. I'm obsessed with it. I love the data. So, even though that I have other people that work with me on the agency side of things to get campaigns going, I'm the one who runs the main campaigns, and then I have other people that run under me under my instructions. So that's a process, part of the process. So make sure you set these up and you follow it every day, and you follow it in every business. And if you do, you're going to be successful, and it's going to save you so many headaches. Trust me when I tell you, it's going to save you so many headaches. And if you're in the agency side of things, you got to keep adding 1 to 2 clients a month or more than that. If you're not going to win. You're not going to scale your agency. So the only way to do that is to having a process in place where you follow daily to get those people into your pipeline. And what happens after the pipeline? You need to sit down and figure out what your process is going to be. Okay, so client comes in the pipeline. What's the next move? The next move is to follow up with them and get into book a appointment on my calendar for a discovery call. So you have the discovery call. You make sure you pre-qualify them, right? Once they're pre-qualified, then you move them to an actual strategy session for their business. And you can charge for the strategy session if you want to. We do. If you're starting out, you don't have to. So you figure out what their needs are. Based on those needs, then you put a presentation together that then you're going to pitch to them and hopefully close them on the spot. Then after that, if they don't close for some reason, you better have a follow-up sequence on the back end that shows them the value of why they should come on board with you. If they don't, if you close them, then you offer them what's the process then for onboarding? You got to have an onboarding process, right? So once you figure out these processes, it's like a Lego blocks. You just put them together, and once you find out what works best for you, you make sure you follow it to a T and you duplicate it on every new part of your business, or if you're launching a new business, but you should be concentrating on one business, but you duplicate it with every client, right? When I say duplicating other business, I mean other stores, like, have multiple stores, right? So that's my piece of advice in this episode of PixlFeed Radio. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have any questions, send them to me in the comments in the YouTube video, or just go in the PixlFeed group on Facebook. I'll be more than happy to answer them. And you guys have a great rest of your day. If you're watching on YouTube, click one of the boxes and keep watching, keep learning. I'll see you in the next video.